Billionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God makes.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again. Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the N.G.L.A. podcast, man. So before we start, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. Because you know every time you subscribe, it helps the channel, and the algorithm puts it out there into the universe so your boy can get more subscribers, more likes, more everything. Also, hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy drop a dope video, man. Today, we're going to get into Trump making another big deal, but with the EU. Also, we're going to talk about Jerome Powell and how he a nut ass nigga. And RJ Talks. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. He gonna give us the scoop and the details on that. Also, we're gonna get into Cam Newton and the responses that Gillie the Kid and Ryan Clark had. Also, Terrell Owens also responded to him, and I believe like a tweet or something. Not really really sure, but we're gonna talk about Ryan and we're gonna talk about Gillie. So let's get into it. Let's get into this Trump deal that he did, man. Yo, listen, man. Like, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Like, y'all keep dogging him. Y'all keep saying that he ain't doing nothing for America. He a racist. He a Nazi. He this. He that. It seemed like he making moves to me. So I'm just saying. Let's get into it, man.
It's probably the biggest deal ever reached in any capacity, trade or beyond trade.
Quality a little messed up in the beginning,
it's
but
a
it's gonna
giant
get
deal
better.
with lots of countries.
There we go.
Because, as you know, Ursula represents a lot of countries, not one country.
I messed up.
It's not
I
easy
did
for
it
you.
again.
Because a lot of very different countries.
My bad. Did it again real quick, but I didn't catch it, but whatever, man. I hate when I do that though. Mess up the video. I'm a perfectionist, and it blows my shit every time I do it. But let's go.
Countries, but some are strong with cars, some are strong with agriculture, some are strong with both, right? You have a lot of different factors. So we're going to do the following. The European Union is going to agree to purchase from the United States $750 billion worth of energy. $750 billion worth of energy. They are going to agree to invest into the United States $600 billion more than they're investing already. So they're investing a large amount of money. You know what that amount of money is. It's very substantial, but they're going to invest an additional $600 billion. They're agreeing to open up their countries to trade.
Hold on. Because I said this. Everybody keeps skipping over the important parts. The money is a big deal, bro. He making big money deals. We talking billions and billions of dollars, bro. Mind you, don't forget all of the money from, all of them companies. I think Saudi hit 500 billion. All of them companies who are investing billions of dollars in America. Don't forget them. That was a little while ago he made them big deals. Now he making even bigger deals with the EU, Philippines, Indonesia, and Japan. Bro, what are we talking about? And we're going to get to Jerome Powell, nut ass man, because he is costing Americans money. And he need to get the hell out the way. Trump be doing, he's a beast, man.
At zero tariff. So that's a very big factor. Opening up their countries, all of the countries will be opened up to trade with the United States at zero tariff.
Sheesh.
And they're agreeing to purchase a vast amount of military equipment. We don't know what that number is, but it's the good news is we make the best military equipment in the world.
Yo, my bad, right, for stopping the video again, but I want to say real quick, right, that this isn't, he's in front of one of their leaders. So this isn't a bluff. This isn't another politician telling you some make-believe shit that ain't happening, or maybe, or we're looking to. No, this is happening. This is happening. He was in front of oh no, I'm thinking of something else. But these deals are solidified, is all I'm saying. They're solidified. And more importantly, too, he's opening up other countries' markets. Right? So if you're an American company, now you are going to have the luxury, right? Especially when you're on that high scale of not only taking advantage of Americans, the American consumer market, but you're going to be able to take advantage of foreign consumer markets also with these countries that we have that we're making these big deals with. And that's a big deal because before Donald Trump, we were not able to sell our goods in their countries. And the tariffs that they put on American goods were crazy. So notice what he said. He said 0% tariff. I'm just saying, people. Got to start paying attention to this shit.
Well, so sort of you have to do that. I mean, until somebody tops us, which is not going to happen. We're way ahead of every other country in terms of the quality of the military equipment. You saw that recently in Iran, and you see that, unfortunately, you see that often for all the wrong reasons, right? So those things are 750 billion, 600 billion, opening up the country. We are agreeing that the tariff straight across for automobiles and everything else will be a straight across tariff of 15%. So we have a tariff of 15%. We have the opening up of all of the European countries, which I think I could say were essentially closed. I mean, you weren't exactly taking our autos, you weren't exactly taking our agriculture, and then you would have smaller things, but for the most part, it was closed. And now it's open. It's open for our companies to go in and do a good job with it. I think you'll like them. I think you'll like it. And we will, very importantly, they'll be investing a lot of money, but the military is a big number, but that's one number we're not determining. It's going to be whatever it is, but they're going to be purchasing hundreds of billions of dollars worth of military equipment. They're very important. They're going to purchase $750 billion worth of energy. So that's going to be great. And $600 billion worth of investments into the United States over and above what they have. So, and I think that basically concludes the deal. I mean, those are the main factors. I don't think there are too many other factors, other than we're going to get along great. And we have a great relationship now with NATO, which is largely the same. I mean, not exactly, but pretty close, right? Largely. And with NATO, as you know, they're going up to 5% from 2%. And the relationship is very strong with NATO. So I just want to congratulate you. I think it's great that we made a deal today instead of playing games and maybe not making a deal at all. I think it's, I'm going to let you say, but I think it's the biggest deal ever made. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We have a deal. We have a trade deal between the two largest economies in the world. And it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. It will bring stability. It will bring predictability. That's very important for our businesses on both sides of the Atlantic. It's 15% tariffs across the board, all inclusive. The investments Mr. President just described that going to go to the United States and the purchases over there, Indeed, basically the European market is open. It's 450 million people. So it's a good deal. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
With tough negotiations. I knew it at the beginning, and it was indeed very tough, but we came to good conclusions for both sides. So again, congratulations and many thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, please?
How did you come to a deal so quickly? Did you?
What are they talking about? Donald Trump making big moves for who? For America, bro. And he said, man, one of the biggest things, one of the biggest components to getting prices down in general is getting the energy prices, energy costs down. So hopefully that, you know, this is one of many deals that can help get the energy costs down, because that's going to help a lot. Energy is a big deal, man. Actually, watching his campaign really made me kind of zone in on how important energy is, because we use energy in everything. Cars, you know, the trucks that carry all of these loads in different companies, Amazon, everything is used by energy. My whole studio, everything is, energy is very important, man. So if we can get that energy down, that'd be great too, man. That'll cause everything else to go down. Because the loads, like for instance, a company who is shipping these big trailers with product in it, the diesel that they use to to push these big trailers, if that price can go down for that diesel, then the cost for shipping is going to go down, which in return, the cost of product will start going down, and that's going to make the goods in the store go down. So, eventually, man, I'll say within a year or two, man, things are going to really, really start looking really good, man. And that's a good thing, man. So I tell people, man, zone in, focus. I try to give good, accurate information and kind of give it to people in a way where, where you understand, man, that, this dude isn't just talking. And like he said, wasn't trying to play games, trying to get a deal done. And he getting it done.
European Union come there and get
I think we both wanted to make a deal. You said something that is very important. It's going to bring us closer together. I think this deal will bring us very close together, actually. Sort of, it's a partnership in a sense, but it's a very good point, and it's something that's very important.
But was there one issue that needed to get over the hurdle?
No, we had 4 or 5. No, not pharmaceuticals. I mean, we're going to be, as you know, a lot of companies are coming into the U.S., and that's unrelated to this deal. But it's, I think this didn't just start today. We had a meeting. I wasn't sure. I said 50-50. I think you probably felt the same thing. But this started months ago, this negotiation. So we knew pretty much what we were getting into, and we were able to make a deal that's very satisfactory to both sides. So it's a very powerful deal. It's a very big deal. It's the biggest of all the deals. It will be the biggest of all the deals. So we're very honored to have done so. And your staff has been fantastic, and they worked together long and hard.
They worked hard and long, and many thanks to the teams on both sides. There was, as I said at the beginning, a heavy lifting you had to do. But many thanks also for the talks we had many times on the way to our goal. And now we made it, and that's good. That's really good.
Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question for the EU Commission President. What are the U.S. concessions? What is the U.S. giving up in the deal, if anything?
So the starting point was an imbalance, a surplus on our side and a deficit on the U.S. side. And we wanted to rebalance the trade relation. And we wanted to do it in a way that trade goes on between the two of us across the Atlantic, because the two biggest economies should have a good trade flow between us. And I think we hit exactly the point we wanted to find. Rebalance, but enable trade on both sides, which means good jobs on both sides of the Atlantic, means prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic, and that was important for us.
And again, the energy is a very important component because we have more energy than anybody else in that sense. And I think it was very wise that they buy a lot of energy, and it's great stuff, and it solves a lot of problems. So that was a great decision, I think.
What about steel? What are you doing?
On what?
Steel.
Steel is staying the way it is. The steel and aluminum, et cetera, et cetera. That's a worldwide thing. That stays the way it is.
We have
Chips, did you discuss that as part of the agreement? Chips?
Chips is, Howard, you might want to describe the chips, please, if you would.
Well, the expectation is in 2 weeks' time, we're going to come out with our chips 232, and that was one of the key reasons that the European Union came to talk to the president to try to resolve all things at one time. And well, I'll let you wait for the 2 weeks until you get to announce your plan. But we are going to be bringing chip manufacturing back to the United States of America.
We'll be doing a lot of chips. A lot of companies are coming in from Taiwan, and
Yo, I think that's going to be one of the biggest components that is very huge is how much he's bringing manufacturing back to America. Like, that's major because that means more jobs for Americans. And on top of that, more manufacturing that comes here, every state and across the whole entire nation that these jobs come in, it builds that economy up. So it's going to do nothing but build the economy up even more. And just add to everything. You know what I mean? So, yo, all of these things that Donald Trump is doing is big deals, bro. He's getting these big companies to come back to America. People don't understand how much manufacturing went to China, to Mexico, to these other just foreign countries. And they were the ones reaping the benefits of these countries coming there. Like, we don't win because all we're doing is buying the products. Yeah, we may be buying, Apple products and stuff like that, but we're not gaining. The economy isn't gaining anything from Apple being in China or any company for that matter being in China or any other foreign country. We don't gain from that. So he's trying to make it in a way where companies come back to America and, they aren't bombarded with regulations and these different things that push them away in the first place. Because these people have the money to just up and bounce. You know what I mean? Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and, I think his name Phil Knight, or I don't know if he still owns Nike, but I think he was the one that owned Nike. But all of these big companies, bro, they got the money to just up and leave. They don't have to stay here. But it doesn't benefit America for all of these American-owned companies that started here to just up and leave. You know what I mean? So you got to respect Donald Trump, bro, for, making these big deals, not wasting time, trying to get these deals done. So when everybody was talking all of this shit about the tariffs that he put in place and all of that, they didn't understand. His ultimate goal was to obviously bring companies back to America. Number one, that was also part of the One Big Beautiful Bill too. That's also going to help companies come back here because it's going to lower the taxes that if you come back to America and you manufacture your products here in America, I think it's like a 15% tax. So he's incentivizing companies to come back here, which is going to boost the economy. And once again, opening up the markets in other countries so we can sell our cars, agriculture, so forth and so forth. So this stuff is a big deal, man.
from other places into the U.S. And they're doing that in order to avoid tariffs. And the president really avoided the tariffs in a better way for them, much better way, much more conclusive. I think probably much more profitable, definitely much more profitable, and got a lot of benefit from it. So it was a very interesting negotiation. It was. I think it's going to be great for both parties. I think your various countries are very happy about this.
Is there an industry in the U.S. that you see maybe having the first impact of getting into this market that was not accessible before, whether it's auto? What's the first call you made?
Yeah, I think cars. Cars basically were not invited. Were not. I don't know if the word is not allowed or just you just kept them out somehow, right? But cars will be. We have some cars that do terrific business and we do really well with the pickup trucks, with the SUVs. We have some great things, and I think the people of Europe will have some diversification. I think that'll make them happy. So I think maybe cars would be the one that would go the biggest, and the second would be agriculture, the farmers. And we'll do it in very strict conjunction with the president and the European Union. And they're coming into our country with great vigor. And I think they're going to make a lot of money with this. I think everybody is. I think and again, it's going to bring a lot of unity and friendship. It's going to work out really well. Okay?
What's the next deal you're focused on now?
Say it.
What's the next deal you're focused on now?
China.
That's an interesting question. This was the big one. This is the biggest of them all. We're looking at deals with 3 or 4 other countries. But for the most part, I can't get them to understand that it's the letter. We just sent that letter, and that letter is, very universal for most. I mean, you wouldn't be able to do this. You wouldn't have the time or the patience to be able to do a deal like this. Most of the others are going to be a certain tariff, and we're going to keep it as low as we can. They're generally smaller countries or countries we don't do much business with. But that they've already received, to a large extent, they've received a letter. They'll probably receive a letter of clarification or a confirmation type letter, which will go out sometime during this week, prior to August 1st. And the tariffs will start being paid by those countries prior to August, on August 1st and beyond. Okay?
Mr. President, was part of the rush to get this deal done to knock the Jeffrey Epstein story out?
Oh, you got to be kidding with that.
Oh my God.
No, had nothing to do with it. Only you would think that. That had nothing to do with it.
Which is good for European business and
Bro, you can't make this shit up, bro.
businesses in this country, particularly small businesses, are closing at a record rate. And you'll see the Prime Minister tomorrow,
Bro, in case you didn't catch it, he was part of getting this deal done because of this whole Epstein thing. Like, what? Like, bro, this is the type of shit I be talking about with these reporters, man. Like, what the hell does that have to do with this deal being done? The EU is made up of 27 countries, bro. That's a big... What are you talking about? This is called business, bro. These people just don't get it, man. It's crazy, bro.
to help British business in this
I think everybody's going to be happy with this. The Prime Minister of the UK, while he's not involved in this, will be very happy because, there's a certain unity that's been brought there too. We have a separate deal with them, but I think he's going to be very happy to know. Look, he's friendly with all of you. I think he's a very good man, and he's going to be very happy to see what we did. I think UK is going to be very, very happy. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
Yeah, man, these people are crazy, man. Like, what are you talking about? They can't get enough of this Jeffrey Epstein situation, man, for real. He just made one of the, it's a big deal, bro. Like, yo, the EU is 27 countries. You know, all European countries, Australia, Belgium, I don't even know how to say this one. I'm not even going to say it. Cyprus, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Italy, Hungary, Ireland. We're like, bro, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal, man. So, man, shout out to Donald Trump, bro, making big deals, man. Not caring about the small shit that don't got nothing to do with putting money in your pockets. That's what, like, everybody focused on shit that doesn't help your family. Like, it doesn't, none of that shit is going, no matter what happens, no matter the outcome, no matter who's involved, who's not involved, none of that shit is going to put money in your pockets. None of it's going to help your family. It's not going to help you put money in your pocket so you can take your family on vacations. None of that, bro. It doesn't matter. Who cares, bro? Leave that shit where it's at. Whatever information comes about it, it comes about it. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen regardless. You know what I mean? Whether nothing happens. It is what it is, man. Even the whole Obama scandal. Obama got presidential immunity. More than likely, nothing's going to happen to him. A few people might get locked up in his administration, but at the end of the day, who cares? Who cares, bro? It's 2025. Donald Trump is the president. We moving on from all that goofy shit. He making big deals, things that is going to make America prosper, things that are going to make the economies boom. Everything is getting back to normal. A random person said the other day, and I felt where he was coming from. He said, man, it feels so good for things to get back to just regular. You know what I mean? People just want shit to be regular, bro. Nobody trying to focus on all this, like, just a bunch of dumb shit. Like, that just doesn't matter, bro. You know? They want to make, they want you to focus on transgenderism and BLM and racism. They want you to focus on all of that. Meanwhile, there's bigger shit going on that you should be worried about and that you should care about, because these things actually directly benefit you. You know what I mean? The one big beautiful bill passing directly benefits you. These deals that get done directly benefit America. We're the ones that have to pay taxes. We're the ones that make that pay all of these people in the government. Like this next story we're about to get into, you know, Donald Trump is trying to save America, bro. People don't realize the debt that we're in, all of the things that all of these past presidents were doing that was hurting America. You know, all the things that they were doing with our tax money, with our money that we put into America, bro. Like, come on. America doesn't run without the middle class, bro. It just doesn't. It doesn't run without businesses being here, businesses thriving, and all of that. That's what we need to focus on. And another thing they need to fix, bro, for real, is our whole healthcare system, because that shit is backwards, bro. I know it's a side note for everything, but they need to fix that, bro. Because I'm getting pissed the fact that, you know, I'm sitting here paying for health coverage. Meanwhile, I got to pay all of these co-pays, and I still get a bill and all of this shit. But I pay for a premium health insurance. But yet, if I don't have insurance, they give me everything for free. This shit is backwards, bro. But anyway, let's get on to this next topic about Jerome Powell, weird ass, doing weird shit, trying to hold us back, man.
It is Sunday, July 27th, and we have a huge show today. This coming week will be huge. 2 more days until the next FOMC meeting. All eyes on Jerome Powell. Will he fold? Will he capitulate to all the pressure the Trump administration's put on him? Well, a federal judge yesterday upping the ante even more. Wait till you see this. Also, the Trump administration taking full advantage this Sunday morning, making sure Jerome Powell hears one last time before Tuesday what they want to see in 2 days, and more stories as well from around the country, including what happens on Friday, August 1st this week. We're going to show you.
The president's been very clear about that. He says he has no intention of firing the Fed chairman. He is putting his viewpoints out there with regard to what interest rates should be, which is dramatically lower than where they are. And of course, we were up there visiting the renovations and kind of getting a firsthand look ourselves for the extent to which it's been mismanaged. It's a host of issues with regard to the Fed. They've gone negative in terms of a profit loss over the last several years. We don't get those remittances into the federal treasury. We believe on a host of fronts, Chairman Powell has been too late, and the president is doing what a president should do, which is get out there and articulate the views on behalf of the American people.
So the United States is $37 trillion in debt. That number rising by the minute. We have a $7.1 trillion annual budget, only $5 trillion of which is even paid for, leaving us with a $2+ trillion annual deficit. How, you ask, is that even possible? How are we losing $2+ trillion a year? Well, we have $4 trillion in mandatory spending, $1 trillion in military spending, another $1 trillion in discretionary spending, and then the big fat elephant in the room, $1 trillion more on interest alone, which brings us to Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, in 2 days from today, the Fed's next FOMC meeting. 8 times a year, the Fed's Board of Governors meet. They convene to decide the future of our country's monetary policy. The Federal Reserve, though, not even part of our federal government, not part of our 3 branches of government, legislative, executive, or judicial. It's not in the Federalist Papers. The Federal Reserve shouldn't even legally exist. In 1913, a private consortium of banks lobbied Congress, and in a quorum call with only 3 senators present, passed the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, doing so when all other senators were on vacation with their families. On that night, the big banks were able to successfully hijack our nation, folks. For 110 years, the Fed's been keeping their thumb on the scale. Their meetings, all of them, taking place behind closed doors. Nobody knows what's really said or how or why they're coming to these decisions. They release these phony Fed minutes assuming that we're stupid. So we have this quasi-independent agency that's accountable to nobody with 26,000 employees paid for by you, the taxpayer, and yet there's no public input allowed. Americans aren't allowed to hear why they're fixing the night rate, putting their thumb on the scale, preventing you from buying a house, affording a mortgage. Enough. We've had enough. All of this, though, may be about to change. Finally, a federal judge yesterday granting a request for an emergency hearing Monday, 1 day before the Fed's next closed-door meeting. The judge calling this emergency hearing to decide if she'll grant a temporary restraining order blocking Jerome Powell's Fed from meeting behind closed doors. Watch.
Back. Speaking of news, we have breaking news even as we speak. Very serendipitous that you're here. Walk us through what just broke across the tape, sir.
Well, we just heard from the federal judge in our lawsuit against Jerome Powell that we filed this morning. Just as a reminder, we filed a lawsuit against Jerome Powell for breaking federal law by holding the Federal Reserve's rate-setting meetings behind closed door that contravenes the Government and the Sunshine Act of 1976. We asked the federal court, very simply, to block next week's Fed meeting from happening in secret. We just heard from the federal judge. She handed down the order, which is that there's going to be an emergency hearing on this on Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. in the D.C. federal courthouse. This is Judge Jerome Powell.
Realize this is unheard of. Never in more than 110 years has the Fed been pressured like this, forced to explain their actions. For weeks, we've seen a whole of government approach led by President Trump to come down like a hammer on Jerome Powell, put him and the Fed under the microscope, put them in their place. Realize the Federal Reserve is above the law. They answer to nobody. Even the President of the United States has no authority over what they do, according to Jerome Powell.
Hi, Victoria Guido with Politico. Some of the president-elect's advisors have suggested that you should resign. If he asked you to leave, would you go?
No.
Can you follow up on, do you think that legally you're not required to leave?
No. Said it again. Okay, thank you. I guess the other question is to follow up on Victoria's question. Do you believe the president has the power to fire or demote you, and has the Fed determined the legality of a president demoting at will any of the other governors with leadership positions?
Not permitted under the law.
Not what?
Not permitted.
So the problem with this whole thing is that basically the Fed is independent. Like he said, it's independent. It's not part of the three branches of government. And that's why he said it shouldn't exist. So basically, you know, they have power, which I'm assuming supersedes the president in a way, which is the reason why he believes legally he can't get fired. But I showed where basically it said he could be removed if basically, I guess if Donald Trump can prove that what he's doing is, I guess, malicious in any way, or he has malicious intent, and what he's doing is hurting Americans, I guess maybe he can be removed in that way. I don't know. But all I know is he's standing in the way of interest rates being lower, which in return is affecting people from getting homes and other things. So this dude is just in a way for no reason.
Under the law.
Thank you.
Now, that may technically be true, but you know what the president can do? He can end the Fed through an act of Congress. He can also use the power of his office to make sure that they fall in line, which is exactly what they're doing. The last few weeks, we've seen everything and anything from the administration coming down on Powell, calling for his resignation. We've seen Congress referring him to DOJ for criminal prosecution for what they say is perjury, lying under oath to Congress. We've also seen them expose Powell for these massive cost overruns in his new office building. Trump deciding to drop in for a personal face-to-face with Powell, an unexpected meeting to see firsthand where our $3.1 billion is going.
President, are there things the chairman can say to you today that would make you back off some of the earlier criticism?
Well, I'd love him to lower interest rates. Other than that, what can I tell you? The country
and the press,
like you see that, like he's serious though. He's dead serious, bro. He is not happy with this dude, bro. Don't let the smiles and everything fool you. He ain't fucking with this dude, Jerome Powell, bro. And that $3.1 million that they're spending on that Fed building is, like I said in a couple episodes ago, they waste money, bro. At the end of the day, it still ran off of taxpayer money. So they just waste money on stupid projects and a lot of shit, bro. Need to get this shit right.
Blowing up over that meeting, screaming about Fed independence. Look, there's a good argument that the Fed shouldn't even exist, but that's a whole different story altogether. The bottom line is, will Jerome Powell get the message? Will he capitulate and cut rates on Tuesday? Well, we're about to find out. This is something that needs to happen. 100% must happen. If you recall, Doge was supposed to be the Lord and Savior. I think we all hoped that Doge would deliver and cut $1 to $2 trillion in waste, fraud, and abuse. Unfortunately, that's not happening. The Trump administration pulling back from that effort, settling with around $200 billion in cuts, which is better than nothing, but a long way from $1 trillion. Elon walking away right before Doge was set to tackle the Pentagon. Why the Pentagon always seems to skate by, I have no idea. Meanwhile, we have around $10 trillion in treasuries set to mature in the next 6 to 9 months. $10 trillion in debt that needs to be refinanced. If those $10 trillion in treasury notes were to mature at current rates, we'd be looking at over $1 trillion a year more in interest, which is quite frankly unacceptable.
as good as we're doing, think of how well we'd be doing. We'd be like a rocket ship. As good as we're doing, we'd do better if we had lower interest rates. And we should. We're prime. Don't forget, without us, the whole world collapses. So we should have the lowest interest rate because, you know, you can talk about Switzerland, you can talk about wonderful countries, no debt, but without us, everything collapses. We should have the lowest interest rate. And if you took it down 3 points, not a little bit, but 3 points, if you got us down to 1, we would save more than $1 trillion, basically with just a paper transfer. You wouldn't be cutting costs of anything, you wouldn't be building anything. Just a move of the hand saying we're going to lower interest rates, you would save $1 trillion a year. And there's nothing you can do to save that.
Just think about that. $1 trillion a year can be saved. And this dude isn't doing it. For nothing other than he just in the Democrat pocket, bro. And they just want to do any and everything. They know nothing they're doing is working. This is a big thing for Donald Trump. We've been talking about this for months now, about him lowering these interest rates. So obviously this is a big deal. You know, I'm not big in, you know, finance. So, you know, I don't like to speak on things I don't know about, but this is a big deal. And I'm going to do more research on it. But RJ is breaking it down for us. You know what I mean? And basically, we're in debt. Trump is doing everything to bring business back here in America, lower energy costs, which in return will lower all other costs, making big deals with these other countries, opening up their markets. And he's saying, listen, with all the great things that are going on, we still need to lower interest rates. So this is a big deal. It's going to happen. This dude is going to he's going to get pressed until it happens. So
Americans are waking
just wasting
up
time.
to the fact that the Federal Reserve is private, they're run for profit, and they're owned by these big private banks. And they've been sucking up the economic future of Americans, everyday Americans, all to keep the train running, doing so in this crony capitalistic, huge transfer of wealth. So let me know what you think. Will Jerome Powell and these Fed governors cut rates on Tuesday? Because the betting markets, they say no. They say they will not capitulate. Poly market has a 95% chance we'll see no change to the night rate at all on Tuesday. Only a 3.6% chance we'll see a 25 basis point cut. That's it, a 3.6% chance. Realize if they don't cut rates big time and fast, they're going to be costing us an additional $1 trillion a year in interest expense for Lord knows how long. Not to mention keeping it virtually unaffordable to buy a house or get a mortgage. Let me know your thoughts. And look, this is why we've been seeing record investment flooding into these alternative asset classes, commodities, especially gold. Gold this year, gold has surged 28.59%, over 28% so far in 2025, while the US dollar has been falling like a rock, down 9% to a 3-year low. Silver also on fire, hitting nearly 14-year highs, and mining stocks are exploding. The GDXJ index up nearly 60% this year. Major banks forecasting big gains as well. JP Morgan expecting gold to reach $4,000 per ounce by Q2 2026. Goldman Sachs agreeing, predicting $4,000 by mid-2026.
I'm in the wrong
Bank
business.
of America expecting gold to hit $4,000 and silver to soar to $40 per ounce in 2026. Even saying silver potentially outperforming gold this year. Yet despite this surge in the price of metal, many gold mining stocks haven't followed suit. For some investors, this disconnect could represent a big opportunity. As you can see in this graph, gold stocks have this tremendous gap to close compared to gold spot price, which has soared. Companies with strong project portfolios and solid financial structures may be well positioned if investor sentiment begins to shift back toward the sector. Which brings me to today's sponsor, Gold Mining Inc. This video is disseminated by Gold Mining Inc. You can see their gold and gold copper resource stage mineral portfolios in the Americas. We're talking some dozen projects across 5 countries located in pro-mining jurisdictions in Canada, the USA, Brazil, Colombia, Peru, with an estimated 12.4 million ounces of gold equivalent in the measured and indicated category, and an additional 9.1 million ounces of gold equivalent in the inferred category. And wait, the company doesn't just own resource stage mineral properties, it also has a portfolio of publicly traded equities and cash. This is important. Their publicly traded equity holdings alone are worth over 157 million US based on the market closing prices of those securities on July 21st, 2025. Plus, they hold 4.4 million US in cash and equivalents of their last reported quarter and financials on May 31st, 2025, and they have no debt. Let me say that again. No debt. Gold mining is advancing key projects such as its São Jorge project in Brazil, where they've launched the company's largest ever exploration program, a critical move given the industry-wide challenge of reserve replacement.
Hey, man, shout out to RJ Talks, man. If y'all want to go check the rest of this video out, go to RJ Talks on YouTube. He dope. He definitely be breaking shit down, very detailed. He definitely gives you the facts, man. He's another one of my guys I go to for information. But yeah, man, this is why education is key, man. He's breaking all of this these gold indexes down and all of this shit, and you just like kind of get a little confused with it, and you're like, damn, like this is why we have to get more educated, people. It's very important, man. We're so far behind as a culture in education, period, man. And this is why, you know, I'm getting into politics and many of things. I love music. I love sports. We're going to be talking about all of them things. But, you know, I want to keep people informed because it's important, man. It's important, bro. It's important to know what's going on. So when things, so let's just say, just for instance, what he's telling you is gold going up, silver going up, and things like that, which means we need to start looking into getting into stocks and things like that, and start investing our money. Instead of blowing it on Jordans, instead of blowing it on clothes and bullshit, we need to start investing in our futures because you don't know what's going to happen. We don't know. And, you know, even though Trump is doing these big deals and things are looking up, it's still people that have, you know, evil intentions, and they don't give a fuck about you. They have personal agendas for themselves to get rich. These people, you know, will sell us out. They don't care because they can up and bounce to another country when shit hits the fan. We can't. So this is why we have to be informed, people. We have to be informed, man. But anyway, on some entertainment, on the entertainment side of things, man, I wanted to follow up with Ryan Clark and Gillie responding to Cam Newton and what he said. But we're gonna play Cam Newton and his what he said about Gillie and Ryan Clark first. We're gonna get into that first, and we're gonna talk about it.
Another person that will unlock Pedicam is Gillie the Kid. Gillie, you posted me on your social story. And Peggy, I got a question to ask.
My bad, people. My bad.
Can you name me one Gillie the Kid album? Can you quote any of his music? But we know Gillie the Kid, not as a rap artist or a hip-hop artist. We know him as a podcaster. We're in the same spaces. So your unpopular pick or your popular pick or the content that you create, Gillie, is the same thing that I do as content creators. So step aside, sir. Next, last but not least, Mr. Ryan Clark. Just for perspective.
This video is
Can
bad.
we tee up just the
this
first
is bad.
15 seconds of that clip?
Let's take Cam Newton, right? What made Cam Newton great?
Pause right
he could
there.
be powerful.
Because this is where people are not understanding here. You're attacking the messenger and not attacking the message.
Okay.
So since that we want to attack the messenger, Ryan Clark. Okay, let's pull up your stats. Second team All-SEC. We cannot relate. Undrafted in 2002. We cannot relate. Then you have one Pro Bowl in 2011. We cannot relate. So if you want to unlock Pedicam and everything that Cam Newton has ever said on this 4th and 1 show has always been backed by merit and logic, but some way, shape, form, people keep attacking Cam the person or why he didn't jump on the fumble, why he didn't do this or comparing and contrasting. So when I compare and contrast you guys' statistics and Dan Orlovsky, Never mind. But another.
Yo, why do you try to play my boy Dan like that? Hey, yo, Cam is burnt out, man. Yo, listen, Cam Newton, great quarterback. I want to say that. He was a great quarterback. He didn't finish the job. The whole thing about jumping on the ball and all that. I ain't even gonna get into none of that. We're not gonna act like Cam wasn't nice. Ryan Clark was nice. Gillie is Gillie the kid, bro. You know what I mean? Yes, his music career didn't go far. He had other things that for the reason why I didn't. But don't act like Gillie the kid ain't nice. Come on now, stop it. But outside of that, Cam had some okay points. But I broke it down yesterday, and the reason why I don't agree with him, because he tried to downplay other teams as if the Eagles, we got this all-star fucking manufactured team or something. Like, it isn't any other teams in the NFL who have elite defenses, elite offenses. It's plenty of them. It's 32 teams in the NFL. Don't try to make it seem like the Eagles are just this. Yeah, we are. Don't get it fucked up. We are like that. And that's been proven last season, but don't make it seem like, Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback in the NFL that has these elite players around him, and that's the reason why he won. No, he won because he's a great leader, number one, great quarterback, number two, and then number three, he has great pieces around him. Because that's what you do when you're an owner. That's what you do when you're an owner and you're a GM. You go get the pieces that your quarterback needs to get you where? To that Super Bowl. And can't keep acting like he ain't have Christian McCaffrey. Like, he ain't have, what's his name? Steve, so bad with them names, bro. It's like right there, number 89, man. He was nice. Hold on. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so look. He had Steve Smith. I'm bugging. That's crazy. He had Christian McCaffrey, Steve Smith, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Kelvin Benjamin. He had Greg Olsen, who was a great tight end. And I'm not going to get into he had some players on defense too. When he went to the Super Bowl, he had players, bro. Why he acting like he ain't had players? You had players. You had a running back. You had a wide receiver to throw to. And you was Cam. You was the triple threat. Big as hell. Can run the ball. Can pass the ball. Come on, bro. Stop, man. Let's get into Ryan Clark, what he was talking about. Dude, crazy.
All right, y'all. Now, this is going too far. Cam became the centerpiece of a conversation that should have been about Jalen Hurts' excellence. But instead of debating if Jalen was in the top 10 or not, we started talking about what Cam Newton wasn't. And people stopped stating what he was. This is a dude that was a transcendent transfer that goes to an average Auburn team and wins a national championship and a Heisman Trophy. Becomes the Rookie of the Year after he was drafted first overall. And be real, in 2015, he the MVP. He took an 8-8 roster to 15 wins and a Super Bowl. And listen, I get to work with the best in the world every single day at ESPN. We the best network doing sports. So I'm with Stephen A, and I'm with Greeny, and I'm with Laura, and I'm with SVP, Mina, Marcus, Dan, and they never have to validate why their opinion matters. And Cam shouldn't have to list his accolades to tell you why, or to tell us why his opinion matters. And I'm gonna be truthful. I don't really care what he said about me. I'm so damn comfortable with my career, but anytime we get into the weeds and start talking about the people who don't do it no more, we miss the mark. And I get some of y'all think I missed the mark when I said he didn't bring his cape, or when I said where was his ring. To be honest, I was comparing Jalen Hurts to Cam Newton, who was the top tenor, Eli Manning, who was the top tenor, and it's highlighting how good Jalen was against Patrick Mahomes. And Cam said I was safe the week before, so I started to have a little fun. But like, let's be real, right? Like, let's put some respect on Cam's name, right? Like, our job is to elevate the game, is to make the game fun and to bring people together. Like, that's exactly what Cam did in Carolina. You know, he elevated the game. He made the game fun. He brought Panthers fans together. That's the same thing Jalen Hurts, though, is doing in Philadelphia. So let's put some respect on that. And that's what I'm going to focus on.
All right. So I wanted to just play this because he kind of summed up what he said originally. Because he was comparing Jalen Hurts to his career, and that he should have jumped on the ball, you know, in the Super Bowl that he lost and things like that. So basically he apologizing to Cam Newton and saying, you know, let's not forget what Cam Newton did for the game and all that, which I respect, bro. He taking the high road. I respect it. Gillie not, though, and we're gonna get into that. But I want to say that, you know, I respect, you know, Ryan Clark is a you know, intelligent guy, you know, speaks very well, you know, so it ain't really in his character to be trying to go back and forth with anybody. So this is expectable from Ryan Clark, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure, you know, Gillie and him, it ain't going to get into nothing else but some podcast, little, you know, back and forth or whatever. But it's fun. It's entertainment. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, Cam was bugging. His top 10, I believe, was top 10 right now. I don't believe it was top 10 of all time, of course. You know, there's so many other people. You know, so it was his top 10 now. So that's why I don't understand why he brought up what did he say? I forget what Ryan just said, but at the end of the day, Cam Newton was still bugging. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. He was bugging to not put Jalen Hurts in his top 10. And for you to put second year players, matter of fact, first year players, because he put Jaden Daniels over Jalen Hurts, and last year was his rookie season. Great quarterback. Jaden Daniels is nice. I fucks with him. Like, came straight in, like, doing his thing. I fuck with Jaden Daniels, but to put him over Jalen Hurts is so disrespectful, my God. Like, what are we talking about? Jalen Hurts been to the playoffs every year since he's been a starter, bro. Went to 2 Super Bowls, bro. What are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about? Crazy. Anyway. Yo, Gillie.
That don't make no sense, man. Tell me another quarterback that been to 2 Super Bowls in 3 years other than Patrick Mahomes. That's plenty.
Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch them eagles fly, fly, eagles fly, on the road to victory. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
Super Bowl champions. How you gonna talk about the Super Bowl champions? That's some loser shit in itself. Usually when I win the championship, let's tap out. Yeah, y'all did it, man. I can't even say nothing, man. Can't believe you did it, man. Man, you don't hate on the world champions, bro. The champions of the world, Craig. How the do you hate on them? In the league, he's been a starter for 4 years. He's been in 2 Super Bowls. How the do you hate on that?
That's a fact. 4 years.
Nigga been a 4-year starter. He won playoff, Super Bowl, playoff, Super Bowl. How the do you hate on that? I'm confused. He ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't that. No, he's a Super Bowl MVP. You talking about? Stupid. He ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't that, he can't do this, he can't do that, he can win a Super Bowl. Stupid. All these on TV every day. Jalen Hurts is he might be in the top 10. He a bit digga dippa digga but digga 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 but dippa dippa eat it. All of y'all eat a hating on the Super Bowl champions. Who? We did. We beat they ass.
It's a fact.
You say, what you smoking, Gillie? I say, Patrick Mahomes, Senior. What are you talking about? I know why you hate, because you never felt no confetti. The confetti never hit you. Just think about it. I felt more confetti than Cam Newton. I was there when we won the Super Bowl. I felt the confetti. I was in the locker room. I was actually doing interviews at the Super Bowl. I did more interviews at the Super Bowl than Cam Newton. What we smoking? Andy Reid, not Andy Seeds. You talking about? Just think about this. I was at the Super Bowl, laying on the field, while the confetti was falling. Think about that. I felt more confetti. Going on in the losers' locker room. We could have did better. We gonna get him next year. Thought you would have made that tackle if we don't hear that shit. We in the locker room. We are the champions, my friend. We gon' keep fighting to the end.
Hey, yo, this nigga burnt
We are the champions. We are the champions. 2007. Cause we are the champions of the world.
Yo, I'm in it with that, bro. Yo, Gillie burnt the fuck out, bro. He has a point, though. You know, at the end of the day, man, you know, shout out to Gillie, shout out to Cam, shout out to Ryan Clark, man. Niggas is, at the end of the day, I don't even be off the whole black shit, but they is black men doing great shit, man. Shout out to their podcast. Make sure y'all go subscribe to their channels. And to $1 Million Worth of Game, 4th and 1 with Cam Newton, and the Pivot, Ryan Clark, man. Make sure y'all go subscribe to all them channels. I am. They all dope, man. So, you know, it's just some little back and forth shit, man. But it's just fun. It's entertainment. And I wouldn't want to get into like any type of shit with Gillie, bro. Because Gillie got no chill button, bro. Gillie got no chill button, bro. But yeah, man. You know, so I agree. You know, Cam was wrong, bro. Plain and simple, Cam was wrong to not put Jalen Hurts in his top 10. He is bugging. Yeah, but shout out to him, man. I already broke down my reasons why he was wrong in my previous video. I just wanted to show what's the name, you know, Ryan Clark and Gillie. You know, yeah, man, yo, things is looking up, people. They looking up. You know, we looking forward in the future. You know, I want everybody, you know, to prosper. I want everybody to win, you know, so whatever it is that you've been thinking about, you want to do, I don't care what it is. I don't care if somebody else is doing it. It doesn't matter, bro. because they're not you. So if a nigga make clothes and you want to do a clothing company, but you don't want to do it because your man doing it, shut the fuck up and do it. Because your brand and his brand are two different brands, and y'all both can shine and y'all both can grow. I see too many people out here today holding themselves back from shining and from growing because they worrying about what somebody else is doing and they worrying about what somebody else is going to think about them. Me, personally, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what SL want to do. Chiron Long is going to be good and is going to grow and prosper and become what I want to be because I'm going to keep on going no matter what. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have more merch coming soon. Yeah. Oh, y'all thought I fell off? Oh, y'all thought I was done? No. You know what I mean? I just wanted to get into the podcast space so I can open up some doors with that. And then I was going to get back to the merch. The merch is coming. I've been rocking it, ain't even been talking about it, but it's been there. But it's coming back. The clothes and everything. N.G.L.A is a brand, people. We never going to lose again. Y'all never going to forget about this. So stop holding yourself back. Start that LLC that you've been wanting to start. Start that cleaning company that you wanted to start. Start that clothing company that you wanted to start. Stop letting people hold you back. No, let me rephrase that. Stop holding yourself back from shining. Stop holding yourself back from growing. You know what I mean? I see it all the time. We need to stop. We need to start helping each other more. We need to start investing in each other more. We need to start coming together, start hopping on each other's podcasts and all that, man. Me and my man was just talking about that, man. We need to start doing more together, people. It's time for you to shine, baby. So keep shining, keep growing, keep elevating. Don't let nobody hold you back. Look at that man and that woman in the mirror. Respect who that person is. Understand you the shit. You don't need nobody to tell you the shit. You the shit. Because you say you the shit. So until next time, it's your boy SL550. This is the N.G.L.A podcast. You mean? Merch coming soon. Like I said. And I love y'all for listening. This your boy SL550, N.G.L.A podcast. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. I truly, truly appreciate everybody that locks in with me. Until next time, I'm out. Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.